Aloha! My name is Darren Lerner, and I am the director of the University of Hawaiʻi Sea Grant College Program, otherwise known as Hawaiʻi Sea Grant. Hawaiʻi Sea Grant supports an innovative program of research, education, and extension services directed toward the improved understanding and stewardship of coastal and marine resources of the state, region, and nation. This is Hawaiʻi Sea Grant Podcast number 6, Intertidal Changes.
Aloha, my name is Rachel, and I'm a communications specialist at Hawaiʻi Sea Grant. Welcome to our 321 podcast. This podcast features research supported by Hawaiʻi Sea Grant. Each episode highlights a new project and the people that make that project possible. I'll ask these researchers to define 3 words commonly used in their research, give them 2 minutes to explain how their research benefits communities here in Hawaii, and end by asking them to provide one thing they know about each other than their research. So, 3 words, 2 minutes, and 1 thing. It's a 321 podcast. In this podcast, we're learning about our project in Hawaii's Intertidal, otherwise known as Opihi. Here to share their research are Joanna Philippoff and her graduate fellow, Patrick Nichols. Let's start by introducing yourselves.
Hi, my name is Joanna, and I am an assistant specialist in the Curriculum Research and Development Group at the University of Hawaii at Manoa.
Hi, I'm Patrick, and I'm a graduate fellow in the Marine Biology graduate program.
So, 3 words you used a lot in your research are intertidal zone, algae, and invertebrates. Can you explain what these words mean?
So the intertidal zone is the area of the shoreline that is exposed to air at low tide and covered with seawater when the tide is high.
The term algae, which are also called seaweeds or limu, which are native Hawaiian algae, refer to a diverse group of photosynthetic organisms that thrive in aquatic environments. So we look at a lot at algae in the intertidal zone as well as the subtidal zone in our projects.
Where's the subtidal zone?
Just beyond the intertidal zone.
Okay, how many different zones are there?
That's a great question. So the intertidal zone, it depends on the length of it along the coast. So it can be very short in some areas and longer in other areas, and it really depends on the topography of the shore.
Okay. And there are lots of different kinds of algae too, right?
Definitely. So in the intertidal zone, on our projects there, we're seeing 50 to 70 different types of macroalgae. Whereas in the subtidal zone, our projects tend to focus on specific types of algae that might occur in areas like around Wailupe, in Mauna Loa Bay, or in the fish pond. We're seeing about maybe like 10 species that we're focusing on in those environments.
Okay, and then you're also seeing invertebrates?
Yeah, so invertebrates are animals without backbones. There are far more invertebrates than vertebrates, so animals with backbones. Only 5% of all known living animal species are vertebrates, so the rest being invertebrates.
Well, tell me in 2 minutes or less how your research benefits the communities here in Hawaii.
So Opihi stands for Our Project in Hawaii's Intertidal, and we train undergraduate students to characterize this environment as well as subtidal communities around Oahu. Some of our projects this upcoming year are going to look at Mauna Loa Bay, Haia Fish Pond, James Campbell National Wildlife Refuge, and Ewa Beach. And in these environments, we're training students to engage in the scientific process by engaging them in authentic research projects.
So by mentoring the next generation of community ecologists, we're sort of bridging the gap between undergraduate research and professional research, hopefully arming them with better experiences for their careers in the future. So we also hope to enhance their knowledge of the scientific process and improve their communication as well as critical thinking skills.
And the data that we collect goes back to the communities. So Paipai Oheia will be able to use the data that the interns collect to make management decisions.
So we're trying to train research savvy managers, or
we're trying to train interns to understand the scientific process to see if they want to go into science and sort of give them a taste of what that might be But at the same time, we're partnering with these communities that could use a lot of hands in the field. And the data that we're providing them, they can apply to questions that they are interested in and make some management decisions like how to seed mullet in a fish pond.
Great. That sounds useful. Well, that's a wrap. But before we go, we want to ask you, what's one thing, Joanna, that you know about Patrick other than his research?
So Patrick is a professional photographer. He takes amazing photos, and he also plays a number of musical instruments.
A number of them? What instruments?
Mainly saxophone, guitar, piano, ukulele, pretty much anything I could get my hands on.
Impressive. And Patrick, what's one thing you know about Joanna other than her research?
Well, Joanna just had a baby, and I know she has been struggling with not appearing as proactive at work, but I know that dealing with a baby is far more important than anything, so she's actually doing quite a bit of work with both her baby and OPE work. I don't know how she does it.
That balance is hard. Okay, well, stay tuned for our next podcast, and mahalo for listening. Aloha.
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 This Hawaiʻi Sea Grant 321 podcast featured 3 songs: Happiness by bensound.com, Ukulele by bensound.com, and Cute by bensound.com. Find them on iTunes and bensound.com.